upsurge of fascism worldwide. Today, aligned with Venezuela's initiative, Canada is the scenario of the first Vancouver Island Anti-Fascist Youth and Student Congress. In this context, we invite Tyson Riel Strandland, Secretary of the Popular Democracy Movement. Hello, Tyson, and welcome to From the South.
Hi there, great to be on your show.
Tyson, what is the purpose of this Congress?
Well, as you mentioned, last year, some of us were very lucky to be able to visit Venezuela, which has made itself at the center of a growing international movement against the international phenomena and great danger of fascism and its various expressions, and imperialism and the drive to war, something we know very well in this country, NATO's largest member state, as well as expressions like Zionism, as neocolonialism, and many problems that are facing not only working people around the world, but especially the youth who bear the greatest weight from these burdens. The youth and students here in Canada increasingly are recognizing the need for an international response to this phenomenon of fascism. So we've assembled together here to draw a line in the sand and to begin to fight back in a spirit of solidarity and internationalist resistance.
As you mentioned, why are spaces like this crucial, and why is it so important to have a global anti-fascist movement, especially in today's political climate?
Right. Well, the challenges we're facing are absolutely global in scale. Whether we're talking about the environmental crisis and climate change, or whether we're talking about the global system of imperialism and the financial connections of this global cartel, which certainly know no borders. Working people can't afford to have borders either. Fascism wants a people that are divided within their own countries, divided amongst themselves, and also divided from people from other countries. We've received many international greetings from Latin America, from Africa, and elsewhere to this Congress in order to show Canadians, the Canadian youth and students, that they are not alone in the struggles they're facing here, and that we can have reciprocal solidarity with the peoples of the Global South, and they will return that solidarity as well, and that we are in this struggle together.
And locally, at a time when Canada faces the imperialist ambitions of US President Donald Trump, who is seeking to make Canada the 51st state, how crucial is this Congress for Canada's left and also progressive movements inside the country?
Absolutely. Once again, it's Canada's youth who are being hit the hardest as a result of this trade war and tariffs, the drive to war and support for U.S. Militarist aggression, the risk involved with military confrontation with other powers like China or Russia or Iran. The great irony is that Canada, as a NATO member state, has always looked to the United States as the guarantor of its freedoms, of its democracy, of its sovereignty. But the only country that has ever, in its history, really threatened Canada's sovereignty is our closest ally, allegedly, the United States itself. So I think this has led many Canadians to really question the nature of that relationship.
Thank you, Tyson, for your time hearing from the South.
Thank you.
We were speaking to Tyson Riel Strandland, Secretary of the Popular Democracy Movement, in the context of the first Vancouver Island Anti-Fascist Youth and Student Congress that is taking place today at the University of Victoria in Canada. And Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belosov reported Friday that the Ukrainian armed forces retreat from the village of Kodranskova in the Kharkov region after sustaining heavy losses. In a statement on Telegram, the top defense official congratulated the command and personnel of the 121st Motorized Rifle Regiment on liberating the settlement from the enemy. On the other hand, the head of the Russian administration of the Kharkov region, Vitaly Ganshev, indicated that the liberation of the area will give the Russian fighters an advantage over the Kyiv regime. At the same time, the Russian air defense forces have reportedly shot down Ukrainian aircraft, US-made guided aerial bombs, missile launchers, system shells, and drones, and continue to advance with targets in the region of the special military operation. With Brazil's National Racial Equality Conference less than 2 months away, municipal governments are rushing to make sure they can send delegates. From Brazil, our correspondent Brian Meir has more.
The Brazilian government has announced that the first national conference of racial equality in 6 years will take place in August. Like other conferences, including health, education, and cities, this requires a series of municipal and state councils to be established where delegates from social movements and unions are elected to participate nationally. With less than 2 months left, all 3 levels of government are working together to organize local councils.
We're here in Alagoas in the municipality of União dos Palmares to participate in the formation of the Municipal Racial Equality Council. It is an important process because we believe it's fundamental for strengthening democracy and promoting racial equality in Brazil.
This week, government representatives converged in União dos Palmares to inaugurate its council, which is symbolically important as the town sits on a location where during the 15 and 1600s, 30,000 formerly enslaved people, led by King Zumbi and Queen Dandara, created an independent nation of 10 towns and villages, which successfully resisted Portuguese aggression for over a century.
Today's visit to União dos Palmares was to inaugurate the Municipal Racial Equality Council. This is the state's 3rd municipal council, and it's symbolically important because we are in the land of Zumbi. It's an area that is very important for Alagoas and for Brazil.
Zumbi's birthday is the most important national holiday for Brazil's black movements. The decision for 3 levels of government to converge in the county where he reigned is viewed as a strategic move to raise awareness for other municipal governments across Brazil to organize their racial equality councils.
For all the representation of this land, the cradle of freedom, the land of Zumbi and Dandara, who dedicated their whole lives to freedom and racial equality, the town of União dos Palmares will now continue this struggle more effectively. The establishment of our council today validates our history.
Since the national delegates will have a level of deliberative control over government policy, participation in the council system represents an important advance in democracy deepening. Brian Meir,